When the deadly rage virus sweeps across England, Don and his wife Alice are holed up in a countryside home with a few other survivors. Luckily, their kids, Tammy and Andy, are safe abroad on a school trip in Spain. But when they take in a terrified boy begging for help, the infected follow him straight to the door. Chaos erupts. Everyone is slaughtered, and in the panic, Don does the unthinkable: he runs, leaving Alice behind. Fast forward 28 weeks. The infected have starved, and NATO forces led by the US move in to secure parts of London. British citizens who were overseas during the outbreak are now allowed to return, including Don's children, Tammy and Andy. They're relocated to the heavily guarded green zone on the Isle of Dogs. Soldiers watch from rooftops. Leaving the zone? Strictly forbidden. Outside, bodies still rot in the streets. Don, now managing one of the buildings inside the green zone, reunites with his kids and tells them their mother didn't survive. He claims he tried to save her, but Tammy and Andy can't help feeling something's off. Later, the siblings sneak out of the green zone, not to solve any mystery, but simply to grab a few personal belongings from their old home. What they find instead is something no one expected. In the attic, they discover their mother, Alice, still alive, dazed, and somehow untouched by the infection. Alice is brought back under military escort. But something's off. A blood test reveals the horrifying truth: she's infected with the rage virus, but somehow immune. She doesn't turn, but she's a ticking time bomb. Her blood and saliva can spread the disease. Despite objections from Army Dr. Scarlett, the military commander, Stone, orders her to be terminated. But before that can happen, Don sneaks in, hoping to make amends. They share a moment. She forgives him. They kiss. And that's all it takes. Don is instantly infected. He brutally murders Alice and escapes into the green zone, slaughtering soldiers and spreading the virus all over again. With a second outbreak unfolding, Scarlett realizes something: Andy might share his mother's immunity. She rushes to protect the kids. The army begins locking civilians into quarantine rooms. But it's already too late. Don finds his way into one of those rooms, infecting the entire crowd. Andy escapes through an air vent, while Scarlett and Tammy fight to stay alive. The infected spill onto the streets. Snipers are ordered to shoot everyone. Amidst the chaos, a rogue sniper named Doyle disobeys orders and saves the group. He joins Scarlett, Tammy, Andy, and a few others as they flee the green zone. They make radio contact with Flynn, a helicopter pilot willing to help, but they need to escape fast. The army is about to firebomb the zone. The group races through an underground tunnel and narrowly survives the fiery inferno. But the nightmare isn't over. About 50 infected make it through the blast and break into London. Later, while resting in a park, Scarlett tells Doyle that Andy and Tammy may be the key to a cure. Flynn agrees to pick them up at Regent's Park. But when he lands, he only wants Doyle on board. The infected close in, and Flynn mows them down with his helicopter blades. With no time left, the group pushes toward their final escape, Wembley Stadium. But the military isn't just targeting the infected anymore. They're using gas, flamethrowers, killing anything that moves. Doyle sacrifices himself to help hotwire a car. Scarlett, Tammy, and Andy flee. Dodging helicopters, they drive into an abandoned subway station and follow the dark train tracks. Scarlett uses Doyle's rifle scope to guide them in the pitch-black tunnel. Then everything falls apart. Tammy and Andy trip over corpses. Scarlett is separated. Out of the shadows, Don appears. He beats Scarlett to death with a rifle, then attacks Andy, biting him. But before he can do more, Tammy pulls the trigger, killing her father and saving her brother. Andy survives, immune, but now contaminated. The children make it to Wembley, where Flynn is waiting. He can't bring himself to kill two blood-covered kids. He flies them across the English Channel, away from Britain and into the unknown. But there's a chilling twist. No one knows Andy carries the virus. And now, for the first time in 28 weeks, it's no longer trapped on the island. Cut to 28 days later, Flynn's helicopter is found wrecked. A French voice crackles over a radio, calling for help. And then, the unthinkable infected sprint out of a subway tunnel, straight toward the Eiffel Tower. The virus has arrived in mainland Europe.